Hello, hello. I have a question for you women. Ladies, I have a question for you. You don't have to answer to me, but I have a question. Now, I was entertained by a recent video, and most of you know who this uh, know about this show. Most of you, and if you don't, then I will share. It's the Kendra G show, and a lot of times those people that come on there, they are entertaining. Now they're supposed to be looking for a hookup, you know, or love. But a lot of times when they're looking for a hookup, they get shook up. And so in this case, uh, because I usually don't, you know, do a one separate video, a whole video on it. I usually just might make some comments while I'm giving commentary on something else or my inspirational messages. However, this woman, she drove 8 hours. Now, 8 hours is a long time to drive. That's a working shift without a lunch. Because if you get an hour lunch, you're usually at work a total of 9 hours. But if you go off site, then you're not at work for that 1 hour, right? But this is a full-time shift, 8 hours, right? That she drove without getting paid, without getting reimbursed, without getting anything but some Dino. I'm gonna say that they call it Dino. I've heard that word Dino. Dino might be besides saying the other stuff, Dino. Okay, so she drove 8 hours, and that's what she got. But she said the energy with this man was off, and that she could tell that the man just wasn't interested. He got quiet. He was, withdrawn. And so she was coming out on Kendra's show. I'm gonna say Kendra because that's the show it was on. Is her, I'm just commenting on it. I'm not gonna play it on my video, but I will give you the link to the video. I will give you the link. But anyway, she came out to bash this man, to put him down, to call him out, and to tell her business. Now, the phrase, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Now, whatever happened where she went should have stayed right where it was at, right? But she came out trying to put down this man, but yet and still, she really wound up looking bad herself. And according to the comments that were made under this video, a lot of people had a lot to say about her, and they said that she tried to put this man down, but she came out looking bad herself. And the fact is that she drove 8 hours and walked away with nothing but a headache, nothing but something to put together a story to share with people on a public social media platform. Now, if you all know, Kendra's platform has grown tremendously. And so, therefore, there's a lot of people that watch her show. And so the people were talking about her and were saying that just goes to show you how easy she was. Then on top of it, she didn't get any money. She said she spent $150 on gas. Now, you know how high gas is right now. Even if you in the Midwest or the southern states, their gas is up too, considering if you on the West Coast, you paying triple to quadruple prices for gas versus some of the other states. Like when I speak with my mom and she tells me their gas is up. I don't laugh because I know that their gas is much lower than ours to begin with. But I do say, Mom, can you imagine what we're paying for gas? I would love, how many people on the West Coast would love to pay for the gas prices of $2 and $3, maybe even $4 a gas, and we up over 5, 6, some places 7 gallons of gas, a price for gallons, of gas. So, however, getting back to this woman, she was complaining about this man wasn't who he said he was when he came on her show, because he did come on her show, and let me play a little of it, but I'm not going to play all of it, but I'm going to play a little of it so y'all can see what this woman, she's something else. But, and before I play it, there's a disclaimer here, copyright disclaimer for entertainment purposes only. But guess what? It's for educational purposes too, because this is what not to do. Women, please don't do that. Don't go in your pocketbook spending $150 for gas to drive 8 hours. Now, if you just needed to go to another city and it was like within an hour, okay, or 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and you wasn't burning that much gas, or if they were going to meet you halfway, y'all meet each other halfway and you meet in a public place, not at his house, not at his apartment. She went to his home. Now, you don't even know this man. You've been talking to him on the phone, and there's a lot of people talk with people on the phone that they've met online, and then they get there and they don't make it out alive. So she should be thankful that she made it out alive. So coming out trying to bash this man, you ought to be thankful this man didn't harm you after you all had an intimate encounter together. You should be glad he didn't go crazy and harm you, as you stated that the man got quiet and the spirit was off. His energy, as she want to call it, was off. You ought to be glad this man didn't hurt you or murder you. And you coming out talking negative, but this man has a story to tell too eventually, and we hope that he'll come out and tell his side of the story. But he was on there looking for love, and he said he wanted a God-fearing wife, but it didn't come out that way. And he's supposed to be Muslim. And so Kendra asked her, well, what if he didn't really, what did she say? What if he really, what if you weren't the woman for him after all? So, and she said whatever she said, but I'll play a little of the clip and then you all can go watch it. I'm going to put it, in there for you guys to watch. I'll post it on my community post. That'll probably be better. But anyway, listen to just a little of this clip. Okay, here she is.
Hello? Hey, Kendra. Hey, boo. Oh my God, is this ever? I've been trying to get on. So I'm new, but I also have an update for one of your past guests. So this your first time here? Yes, ma'am. So you met a guest from my show? Mm-hmm. Well, what you about to spill? What you want to tell us? It ain't what he said it is. That's all I'm gonna say. What do you want to tell me? You gotta tell me. It was your guest from September 19th, Muhammad. I talked to Atlanta people. From where? From Atlanta. Give me more details. The white African guy. Oh, the white African guy.
Hey, Kendra.
Hey, bro.
I'm right here cooking. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Let's get into it, Muhammad. What kind of woman you looking for, babe?
I'm looking for someone that has God-fearing. I think that's the only thing I need.
That's it?
That's it.
She could look fear that maybe he met you and didn't like you. Is that me? Honestly, Kendra, I don't know what it is because he claims that he likes me or whatever and whatnot. Like, he was all over me when I got there or whatever. So when I got back home, because he tried to talk to me before I left, but I'm just one of those type of people. If I just feel like you're acting funny, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. I got my own transportation. I'm going to go on about my business or whatever and whatnot. But, of course, he's Muslim. I'm Christian. So I don't know much about the Muslim way or whatever. So I guess it also triggered him when I went to the store by myself. But my family, who also practice the same religion as he does, was all like, well, this is where he probably got upset. So I was like, I called, I was like, so are you mad because of this? And he was like, yeah, you disrespected me. Like, I'm 29, like, what the hell? We going to the store 10 minutes away? But I'm not going to spill all his thing on little tea, but girl, you came out there and get it on. So I got one more final question, and you don't have to answer. But since you brought it up, because I wouldn't know anything, well, we wouldn't know anything unless you told us. Did y'all sleep together? We did.
Okay, so I just played a few clips of that, and I'm gonna, put it up on my community post, and you guys can go and listen to the whole clip. But it was really foolish, and she did, like she admitted. I wanted you all to know that she did that. She slept with him, but she drove 8 hours. So you guys can go and listen to that. That she drove 8 hours. She says she spent, like I said, $150. But the thing is you can listen to what Kendra's questions are, the energy of that. But the whole thing was a lot of people in the comments didn't agree with her. They were talking about why did she do that? She's the one that got used or she gave it up. He got what he wanted. He hit it and quit it. There was a lot of different comments under this video, but she just didn't sound very smart, because really she has 2 children, and she says that in the video, and she's been married before and divorced, and so she left her children to go be with a man 8 hours away, spent her own money, didn't even ask the man to meet her halfway. And then when she talks about that she went to the store 10 minutes away, he felt respected when she got back. Well, first of all, a Muslim man probably don't want their woman, going to the store by themselves. They usually will go with you or drive you to the store. And so even though they really didn't know each other that well, I'm not sure how much and how long, how much they knew about each other prior to her visit, and how long they really knew each other, you know, and getting to know each other, and how much information they shared about each other in their past, moving forward, current and moving forward, and what they wanted their future to look like. There's a lot of stuff that we have to sit down and talk about when you're interested in someone, or maybe pursuing a relationship with someone, looking for love or whatever, and driving to someone's house, which is really not a neutral place. If this woman and man had met, halfway, and met like at a coffee shop or a restaurant, and had tea, maybe a little light lunch, to get to really know each other. But driving to a man's house, and it goes for men too, driving to a woman's house, not knowing what to expect. You might drive to a woman's house and her man or husband or ex might be there, and you may wind up getting injured or running for your life, or even getting losing your life by showing up at someone's house that you have never really met in person. You only been talking over the phone. And people tend to act differently in person versus over the phone. And you also, when you meet in person, you get to see who that person is, physically see them, who they are right there, alive, a live person. And so with her driving to this man's home and not really meeting him ever in person, and then turning around, sorry about that, turning around and sleeping with the man, paying this type of money, gas money, which gas, again, like I said, is very, very expensive, with 2 children. So basically you're taking money out of your kids' mouth or out of the child support payments that you may be getting, to go see another man, when this could have been put into a savings account for your children. And people do what they want to do, so please don't come at me for saying that. But I'm just saying we should use our money wisely, right? Because she claimed that she has 2 different baby fathers, and one of them, this is what she said: well, it's like I only really have one baby father, because he does for the other child too. Yeah, but even if the other one isn't doing anything, don't try to minimize the fact that you have a non-absentee, you have an absentee father. You see what I'm saying? You have one that's present, and then you have absentee father that's not doing anything basically for the other child. So don't try to minimize that. You have 2 baby fathers. One is doing for both, and one is not doing for the actual child of his that you and him, made together. So she tried to minimize that, and I caught that, because she was like, well, it's just like, I only have one. No, ain't no just like. If you have 2 baby daddies, you have 2 baby daddies. Now, one may be doing and one may not be doing, and one may be doing for both. And that's noble of the one that stepped up for both of the children, because that says, hey, maybe he has a good relationship with the other child. Maybe he feels a certain kind of way for that other child that's really not his. So he doesn't want to show, a difference or favoritism, because children are little, and they can feel, like an outcast, or feel like they don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with helping out if that's what you choose to do. But if you minimize what the other father is not doing, and you minimize that and you don't try to hold them accountable, then you setting the wrong standards. And that's how I look at that. You are setting incorrect standards, because that other father, you the way you sound is like you haven't even tried to, and maybe she has, but just to minimize it. If I tried, say I had more than one child's father, and I said I would never come out and minimize what one father is not doing, period. I wouldn't even brought it up. Because if I need to bring it up and the question get asked to me, I would say, you know what, I've tried everything I can to get him to be involved and give financial support. I've even filed child support against this person, papers, and went to court. They didn't show up or whatever. But I wouldn't be sitting up there saying, well, it's really just like I only have one children's dad, because the one that he stepped up and he really helps both. That no. But anyway, you guys can look at that. But it was a lot of things that I found problematic with this woman. And she also sounded like, she was trying to use an accent, like this accent. And somebody called her, she like a Karen. Someone said that she was like kind of like a Karen, a black Karen, in the way she was, not the fact that she was, maybe violent, but the way she was acting. But she also made some statements, and they was like, she sounded like that maybe she got loud with this guy, and he just didn't like her behavior. He didn't like her character. He just didn't like, this woman after all. And there could have been some things about him that, maybe because she, Muslim men, I don't know too much about, their culture. I don't. I'm going to say that I do. I know somewhat, but I won't get into trying to, put anyone down, because I'm not going to do that. But what I'm going to say is, it sounds like to me, from what I've read and what I understand, is Muslim men like submissive women. They like women, and so maybe someone can help me out on that, that's Muslim themselves, and what type of women you like. I don't know. I'm just saying, and I'm not here, like I said, to disrespect no one. These are things that I've heard and I've somewhat read about. But the thing is this woman ran off 8 hours to be with this Muslim man, and she already knew that the man said that he wanted a wife. He also stated that he wanted a dark-skinned woman, because his great-grandmother was dark-skinned, and she really wasn't dark-skinned maybe enough, who knows, but he had already stated what he wanted. So her going there and sleeping with him already was a red flag. It was already something that he probably after the fact said, wow, and he thought about it. And most men, if you give it to them freely, they gonna take it. Some men will have restraint and say, nah, I don't want that. I don't want to hit that. Nah. And some men, like Russell Wilson, he set the standards in his relationship with Sierra. And he said that, and she even spoke out and said he wanted to take sex off the table. So there are some men out here that want to take sex off the table, and they want to get to know you. And then there are some men that will still go along with it, even if they want something different. And they will go along with it because it's free for the taking. So it was free for the taking. She was giving it up, and it was consensual. So he got it. Okay, he hit it, he quit it, and she didn't like that. So then she came back on Kendra to tell her story. The other thing is that there are some men that after the fact will feel some type of way about that, because she was quick to give it up, and maybe he wanted to see what type of woman she really was, because if you do it with me, you'll do it with other men as well. But if you go and listen to the whole video, you can come to your conclusion and your opinions on it. And it's entertaining, it is, but at the same time, we can learn a lesson as women out of that, a valuable lesson. As women in general, not saying that you're that type of woman, but there are women out here that might be in those situations, that might be that type of woman, that might be leaning towards that situation, might have done it in the past, because, and now you can learn differently. Don't be driving 8 hours to see no man. That's a long time, and you're spending your own money to do it, in my opinion. And so then getting upset and wanting to come out and spill the beans. That says a lot about you too, because that says that you cannot keep your private matters to yourself. Maybe you're close confidant, but you came out on a public platform to let the world know that you drove 8 hours. But she does admit that she was, that she what she say, whatever her word was, she was dumb or whatever, she made a mistake or whatever she said. But still, you don't have to let the world know that type of mistake. You could have kept that to yourself. And you could have just said, you know what, I sum it up that I thought I was going to get something, because she sound, you know what, and she sound desperate and thirsty. You know, we use the term desperate. Desperado should come to their senses, and I hope that she has come to her senses. And then, you know, thirsty. You know, when you get thirsty, you got to be able to change your mindset and your way of thinking. If you are thirsty for certain things, maybe you need to go running, maybe you're going to need to go take a power walk, maybe you need to go to the gym or work out, or if you got a gym at home, go read a book, go read the Bible, go read something that's inspirational, so that you don't be sitting here thinking about these thirsty matters that can get you to drive 8 hours and you don't even have a commitment. And because he told you he liked you. Do you not know how many men tell women they like them? Yeah, I like you. You cool. You are I. You are I. You know, that kind of stuff. There are so many men that tell women they like them. Just like women. There's a lot of women tell men, yeah, I like you, but. This man had a I like you, but. Yeah. You know, I understand, but you know what? I tell you, when people trying to, you know, call other folks out, when calling other folks out goes wrong, when calling other folks out goes wrong. So anyway, you guys, leave your respectful comments below this video. Rate the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. And thank you all to my new subscribers. I truly appreciate, you know, you subscribing. And I will actually see you soon. God bless you all. And one of the things I need to say is copyright disclaimer, which I believe I already said, but under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 for the fair use of, you know, educational purposes and, you know, entertainment, you know, you know, so it's fair use for purposes such as criticism, yes, criticism also, commenting, news reporting, scholarship, and research. And then fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And so anyway, with that being said, you know, you can go to my Instagram as well. Look at my jewelry. I also make other jewelry that I upload. You know, if you're interested in something, reach out to me. You can also support the channel if you would like to do that. God bless you all on today, and I definitely will see you soon.